my belly.
I know. Hi. Good. How are you? How are the kids? First grade yet? Already? Completely wiped out. I'm very confident that that's going to happen. Thank you,
I know, I noticed that.
Piece of dirt in there.
Same theory as restaurants that have clause. They don't want you to stay.
Is he in first grade yet?
No, tomorrow. Is it tour tomorrow? Yeah. Oh, does it? I don't know if I can stay very long, but my crew is working. We're demoing a building in Colebrook for me, one of my buildings. What I want to what I want to speak to him about is we have a recreation center in Colbert that's been closed for years. Has an enormous playground, and inside there's a pool that can no longer be operated because it needs so much repair. But if you filled the pool in, that would make a tremendous daycare center, and it's for sale by a non-profit group that just wants it to become something useful. And I think if he were to buy that, operate a daycare center, and offer it as an benefit.
So before the committee gets started, just want to let you know it's only sitting room only, so if you could take a seat. And if your sign's blocking somebody behind you, please just keep it in your lap, but don't hide somebody's face that is right behind you.
Oh yeah, with this, yeah.
10
locations or.
Sell.
Just so the public knows that normally signs are not allowed inside the state house. So just be good with them if you want to keep them.
There are some seats up here if you want to sit down. There's a chair up here. There's 2 chairs right here.
I don't want you to know this.
Okay. How you doing today?
Just before we get started, Representative Steinberg, I don't ask you anyone already this morning? Okay. So Representative, if you haven't been in, once we go up, you need to use your mic if you want to be heard. If you are whispering and your mic is lit up, we will be able to hear you. So just be aware of that. It's not on yet, so you're good for now. But press the button and it is hot mics all around.
Yeah, we're hoping to do that.
Right.
Sure.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. I guess we'll probably see more of each other in about a month or so, huh?
Right.
All right. If you wouldn't mind muting your phones.
Senator Kavanaugh?
Hello?
You guys are in trouble.
Sorry about
There's 2
that.
Kevins in the room now.
2 Kevins are better than 1.
2 Kevins in the room.
So I'm booked.
All right. Senator Pro, would you lead us in a pledge of allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I want to welcome everybody. You just go around and introduce yourselves real quick.
State Rep. Pat Browning, Stratham.
And just hit your mic real quick.
State Representative Pat Browning from Stratham, Ways and Means Committee.
Representative Don Major from Plasto, Chairman of Ways and Means.
Representative Howard Pearl from Loudon, Chairman of Environment Ag.
Representative Andrew Bolden from Manchester, also with Environment and Ag.
Hello, Senator Kevin Kavanaugh from District 16.
Jim Gregg from District 6.
And I'm Senator Kevin Avard, and I'm from District 12, and we're here to look at the SB 109, or 103, correct? And just for the public to understand, this is a committee of conference. It's really not a public hearing per se, but the public is definitely welcome to listen as we go through the bill. As of right now, we're holding pretty strong to the Senate position, but we want to give you an opportunity to talk about your position in the House, and who would like to take that responsibility?
Let me just say something.
Yes.
Is that the House position, because it passed the House in 77, is to support this unless there's evidence given to us where we would see the Senate. But, so that's where we stand at this point.
Okay. And Representative?
Yeah, I can support it if you'd like. I can be the one to present our side.
We'd love to hear it.
Okay. The members of this committee have been given an opportunity to join the ranks of Abraham Lincoln, Teddy Roosevelt, and John Muir. All three were men remembered for their contributions to the protection of their country's natural resources and the national park system. Every year, 327 million people visit national parks. Yes, you heard right, that's a number roughly equal to our nation's population. The fact that these parks exist and are accessible for all is a testament to the foresight and determination of many who deserve our thanks. The national parks have often been called America's best idea. I picked up this Life magazine on Friday at Hannaford in my district. Life put out this special edition featuring the nation's parks, and I think my passion for this bill can be summed up by this headline here. America's national parks are something all citizens can agree on. Now that's national parks. Here in New Hampshire, we have the state park system, which protects the most important natural areas within our state. And I would argue that our state parks are something that all Granite Staters can agree on. In fact, our state parks welcome over 1 million visitors per year. Many of those are residents of surrounding states who drive past the parks in their own state, sit in heavy traffic on I-93, and drive all the way up north to our state parks. Why'd they do that? Why? Why go through all that trouble to come to parks in New Hampshire? Every Granite Stater can tell you the answer to that question. Because our parks are superior, because we've preserved and protected them for generations, and this bill will make sure that continues into the future. Now I understand this is a committee of conference, and our chambers have significant disagreement on this bipartisan common sense bill, and we're supposed to find common ground and strike a compromise. So I'd like to propose to the committee that we reduce the buffer down to 5,000 feet, and I'd also like to offer a 5-year sunset provision. Now why 5 years? Because HB 413, which passed both of our chambers with broad support, establishes a 5-year comprehensive solid waste working group to finally solve the state's solid waste management challenges. If this working group delivers the results that we expect it to, then our solid waste needs will be addressed for the foreseeable future, and the sunset could be removed with future legislation. If it does not effectively address our solid waste disposal needs, then we can obviously let the policy sunset, and this very minuscule buffer zone will be repealed automatically. I want to be very clear about a 5,000-foot buffer. It would allow a landfill to be placed near Forest Lake State Park, on the property that Casella Waste Systems is looking to purchase. Obviously, they would have to make some modifications to the design to move the solid waste disposal area further from the park, since the original design calls for it to be placed a mere 190 feet from the lake. This compromise proposal represents the House meeting the Senate more than halfway. It provides modest protection for our state parks, and as far as I can tell, addresses every practical argument that I've heard against HB 177. Does anyone have any objections to this proposal?
Absolutely.
Senator Gray.
If I might speak. I live in Rochester. Rochester is the home of the Turnkey Landfill. The Turnkey Landfill is one of the largest in the state. We have families living, drinking out of water wells within a half a mile of the Turnkey Landfill. We have taken and we have made the land around that landfill recreational area, putting in parks, a driving range. There's a golf course just out of your 2-mile area. That this legislation, although it may be required that we do something, it should not be just limited to state parks. That child that's drinking out of that water well is more important to me than the pristineness of your state park, okay? That family that is living in that area. We looked at the complaints that were made in Rochester for the first quarter of this year. There was one. And that one didn't have to do with smell, didn't have to do with anything else. It had to do with the new road that Rochester is allowing them to construct such that the existing road can be torn up and that land used for landfill. Rochester has experience over years and years and years of good management of the landfill. And for the House to add this to a bill that the Senate frankly can live without, you have your choice, okay, in my opinion. You can take your bill, go back and do a better job next year, or we can walk away and the whole Senate Bill 103 dies. Follow?
I just have a question for the senator, if I may.
Absolutely.
Would this bill affect the turnkey landfill in Rochester in any way?
At this present time, no.
Senator Kavanaugh?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I really think there's I love your proposal, I do. And I think there's a fine balance that we have between cities and municipalities and the state and state parks. I think we've got to protect them, really. I had a conversation, there's a town in my district that, I know it's solid waste, but this is recycling. Stop recycling because of the cost. No one wins then. I think that's a huge mistake. But the reality of the cost now, I mean, we're tripling and quadrupling. So I think we've got to do something, and I do like the representative's proposal and would support that if we can get some kind of support for that. But I understand people have their opinions with things.
Yeah, and I think maybe next session would be probably a better opportunity to do that. And I know that other senators, they were really concerned with the fact that the state stripping local zoning ordinances. I know Senator French was one of those. He had a real major concern with that. Once you open up that door for the state to do that, then where else will it, where will that stop? And because once you open that door, there's no limit. So I think that was a major concern, and that's one of the reasons why he voted. And I think there were a couple other senators on that same page. So that aside of everything else, is there any discussion with 103 itself? Are you happy with 103? We're happy with 103, but adding 177, it just doesn't fit. It doesn't work for us. I'd like to give you another opportunity to have Representative Pearl. Do you have anything to say?
This is it's been and thank you. This has been a complicated issue. The House has had votes on it a couple of times. It's a standalone bill, and amendments were made. And I certainly recognize the importance of the issue to our state, and I agree with a lot of what is said. I think it is challenging whenever you add such a non-germane amendment to a bill, especially one that has the importance of the underlying bill. And I guess we just have to be very careful, and so it's my understanding then that it's a no from you guys completely as far as adding anything. It's back to the original bill.
At this point, we would love you to agree with us because 103 is a good bill. I think that people in the House also like 103 as well. It'd be a shame to see both die. 177 was a difficult one. We understand it. It's one of those that you walk away and you don't feel good either way you voted on it, and it's bad that we're in this position. So, like you said, it's a non-germane amendment, and right at this point, it doesn't work for the Senate. Representative Major.
I think it's time to
one complaint from Waste Management. And from all the complaints for NCES. Right.
Welcome back. Love that song.
You're always introduced as a sitting senator, and they give the kids a show.
Representative Major?
Senator, thanks for letting us talk us. We discussed, the proposed amendment that the representative made some good points, but it wasn't good enough to kill Senate Bill 103. And so we decided that, it's best that the representative's proposal comes in as a separate bill to be discussed in this next section. So we will accede to the Senate.
Thank you, Representative. Thank you for your hard work and thank you for your advocacy.